You know that feeling when you splurge on a budget soundbar, only to find the dialogue sounds like it's coming through a tin can and the bass just thuds without any real depth. I've been there, and the disappointment sticks around longer than the cheap price tag. That's why I wanted to see if Samsung's Q900F, the 7.1.2 channel beast that comes with a subwoofer and a 3-year protection plan, actually feels like a smarter buy rather than another buyer's regret. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have with any premium soundbar is whether it will actually make a noticeable difference in a typical living room setup. You're probably used to watching movies on a TV that sounds fine for news and sitcoms, but once the action ramps up, explosions, car chases, or a quiet thriller where every whisper matters, the built-in TV speakers fall flat. The question is, will this Samsung unit lift those moments without forcing you to rearrange your furniture or invest in a full-blown surround system? The Q900F advertises a true 7.1.2 channel experience, which essentially means it tries to recreate overhead and side channels using up-firing and side-firing drivers tucked inside the bar, while the separate subwoofer handles low-end rumble. In practice, I tested it during 3 different scenarios: a dialogue-heavy drama, a bass-driven action film, and a fast-paced sports broadcast. The drama, think a courtroom thriller, benefited from the dedicated dialogue enhancement mode. The spoken words were crisp enough that I didn't have to crank the TV volume up, which is a huge win for anyone who finds themselves constantly adjusting volume for subtitles or missing key plot points. When the action film rolled, the subwoofer kicked in with a punch that felt like the room itself was vibrating, yet it didn't overwhelm the mid-range. This balance is something many lower-priced soundbars miss. They either blast the bass to the point of distortion or keep it so restrained you never feel the impact. In the sports scenario, the crowd ambience and stadium reverberation seemed convincingly spacious. The side-channel simulation gave a sense of direction when a commentator mentioned a play on the left side of the field. The sound followed, adding to the immersion without needing extra rear speakers. Now, let's talk about room size. The Q900F is designed for medium to large living rooms, roughly 15 to 25 square meters. If you're in a cramped studio apartment, the overhead simulation can feel a bit too expansive, and the subwoofer may end up sounding boomy, because the walls reflect the low frequencies more aggressively. Conversely, in an open-plan space, you'll appreciate the way the bar fills the area without the need to place additional satellites. Connectivity is another practical concern. Samsung bundles HDMI, EARC, optical, and Bluetooth, plus a dedicated Wi-Fi link for streaming services that support Dolby Atmos. The EARC connection made syncing with my Samsung TV seamless, no lip-sync issues, and the Q-Symphony feature let the TV's own speakers blend with the bar for a richer soundstage. For people who don't own a Samsung TV, the experience is still solid, but you lose that automatic integration. You'll have to manually set up the audio output, which can be a bit fiddly for the less tech-savvy. The remote is a mixed bag. Samsung's remote for the soundbar is fairly slim and includes a few dedicated buttons for movie, music, and voice modes. However, the button layout feels cramped, and the backlight is dim, making it harder to find the right function in a dark room. I found myself using the companion app on my phone more often than the physical remote. If you're someone who loves a streamlined, one-click experience, you might be a little frustrated at first. One of the hidden strengths of this bundle is the 3-year Amber Protection Plan. Most soundbars come with a 1-year limited warranty, but Samsung's extended coverage gives you peace of mind against accidental damage or component failures. For a product at this price point, the added security can justify the investment for families with kids or pets. Who should consider buying the Q900F? If you already have a decent-sized TV, enjoy streaming services that support Dolby Atmos, and want a noticeable upgrade from stock speakers without wiring a full 5.1 or 7.1 system, this soundbar hits a sweet spot. It's also a good fit for movie enthusiasts who care about dialogue clarity and want a cinematic feel without the hassle of multiple speaker placements. Gamers who sit close to the screen will appreciate the positional audio cues, especially in titles that support object-based sound. Who might want to skip it? If your budget is tight, there are cheaper bars that can still improve TV audio, though they won't deliver the same overhead immersion. Likewise, if you live in a small apartment where the bass will dominate the space, you might be better off with a more compact unit, or a sound system that lets you fine-tune the low end more precisely. Finally, if you're not using a TV that supports EARC or Q-Symphony, you'll lose a piece of the integration magic that makes the Samsung ecosystem feel cohesive.